Welcome back to another deep dive on The Explainer. Today, we're taking a seriously fascinating journey through what's known as the Dr. Stock lifecycle. Basically, we're looking at exactly how you can take total inventory chaos and transform it into complete, unified control. We're going to be exploring the really powerful back-end architecture of the NEXO 4 ERP system, specifically zooming in on its incredibly robust stock, warehouse, and buying modules. Look, if you deal with supply chain logistics, procurement, or inventory management in any capacity, you already know that bridging that gap between a purchase order and a tracked physical asset, it can be a massive, massive headache. So today we're unpacking exactly how a modern automated system literally eliminates all that pain.
Okay, let's dive into this roadmap. First, we'll look at the cost of chaos, move on to smarter buying, then multi-warehouse management, real-time ledgers, and wrap up with maximum control.
Section 1. The cost of chaos. Escaping the manual trap.
So every single day, supply chain directors face this barrage of operational blind spots. When your systems just don't talk to each other, you aren't just losing time, you are actively bleeding capital. So I've got to ask a tough question. Do you actually know what's in your warehouse right now? And I mean right now. Not what was there at the end of last month when you did a manual count, not what a spreadsheet from last Tuesday says. I'm talking about this exact second. You know the nightmare scenario, right? You're frantically calling the warehouse manager at 4 p.m. on a Friday because the system says you have 20 pallets of a crucial component, but someone on the floor physically counted 3. For operations relying on periodic manual inventory tracking, that lack of reliability is the root cause of almost every single supply chain breakdown.
Because, think about it, when you don't have real-time visibility, you hit this massive cascade of failures. Disconnected procurement pipelines mean your purchasing team is essentially just guessing what the warehouse needs. Manual tracking creates these giant data silos where one department literally has no idea what the other is doing. And what does that lead to? Well, frequent stockouts, completely unreliable material requests, and terribly delayed updates to your general ledger. The financial and operational losses from this are just staggering, but this is exactly where the NEXO 4 ERP system steps in. It systematically replaces all these manual traps with unified, intelligent automation.
Section 2. Smarter Buying and Procurement. Automating the pipeline.
All right, let's see how this builds a perfectly seamless procurement flow. The NEXO 4 buying module actually structures procurement into 4 distinct automated steps. First, boom, an automated material request is generated. The system actually knows you're running low before a human even has to check. Second, it can automatically issue a vendor request for quotation, an RFQ, reaching out directly to your suppliers. Third, once that's approved, it triggers a seamless purchase order generation. And finally, when that delivery truck actually backs into the bay, you have strict goods receipt note, or GRN control. This ensures that what was ordered is exactly what you received, completely bridging that gap between buying and stocking.
Now, the absolutely crucial point here is this: smart reorder levels. I mean, imagine never having to panic order a critical component ever again. By analyzing your inventory data, this system doesn't just tap you on the shoulder when you're out of stock. It proactively safeguards against supply chain disruptions. It automatically triggers the exact workflows we just talked about, so you have the materials you need exactly when you need them. It's a real game changer.
Section 3. Mastering multi-warehouse management. Scale and visibility.
Okay, to truly understand the power of the stock module, we've got to define a fundamental concept here: perpetual inventory. Unlike periodic systems that rely on those tedious manual cycle counts, perpetual inventory means there is continuous, real-time tracking of every single inventory update. And, this is key, those updates sync directly and instantly with your accounting ledgers.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sharp contrast between the old way and the NEXO 4 way. Look at the top. Periodic inventory is manual, it's outdated, and it literally leaves your finance team waiting days or even weeks to close the books. But below that, with NEXO 4's perpetual inventory, every single time a box is moved, scanned, or sold, your multi-warehouse visibility updates instantly. Your ledgers reflect the exact financial reality of that very second.
At a macro level, this gives operations leads total scale and control. I mean, you can track stock across multiple physical or even virtual locations. You can execute completely seamless stock transfers between warehouses without losing an ounce of data fidelity. You get granular asset location tracking, so you know exactly which aisle, which bin a product is sitting in. And because of how the system's architecture is built, there's instant ecosystem propagation. An update in Warehouse A instantly reflects in your central system, which allows for totally painless centralized stock reconciliation.
Section 4. Real-time tracking and ledgers. Micromanagement at scale.
We all know not all inventory is created equal, right? Well, for high-value items, the system utilizes serial number tracking. This gives you absolute individual traceability for things like warranties or specific expensive electronic components. But say for raw materials, food, or pharmaceuticals, the system uses robust batch tracking. This is huge because it allows for rigorous expiration tracking and really strict quality control inspections for entire groups of items. It's the definition of micromanagement at scale.
I want you to focus on this number for a second. 0. 0 is the exact number of seconds delayed between a warehouse stock update and the general ledger sync in this system. Let that sink in for a moment. When a batch is consumed on the manufacturing floor or a serialized item is shipped out the door, the financial value is updated instantly, literally no delay. And this instantaneous sync is powered by deeply integrated stock accounting. NEXO 4 allows you to easily configure advanced inventory valuation methods, stuff like FIFO, first in, first out, or moving average valuation, as well as standard valuation rates. Because the stock and finance modules are essentially speaking the exact same language in real time, every single general ledger update is perfectly accurate. And what does that mean for you? It means your business is perpetually generating audit-ready financial statements. No more end-of-month panic.
Section 5. Zero chaos, maximum control. The unified ecosystem.
So how does the system actually handle all this incredibly complex procurement, the multi-warehouse logic, and the real-time financial tracking without just completely collapsing? Well, it works because it's built like a central nervous system. Rather than having a separate software for buying and another one for the warehouse and then yet another for accounting, the architecture of NEXO 4 ensures that an update anywhere propagates everywhere, instantly. It completely wipes out those data silos that cause supply chain bottlenecks in the first place.
Which leads us perfectly to the core mantra of the platform: zero chaos, maximum control. By automating that whole dock-to-stock lifecycle, enforcing smart reorder rules, utilizing true perpetual inventory, and syncing it all in real time to your financial ledgers, you absolutely remove the guesswork from your operations. You're no longer just putting out fires and reacting to inventory emergencies. You are proactively commanding your entire supply chain. I'm going to leave you with this final provocative thought to chew on. Take a hard look at your current workflows. Look at the disconnects between your buying team, your warehouse floor, and your accounting department. Is your business actually ready to break down its data silos and build a truly automated supply chain? Because as we've seen today, the tools are clearly out there to make manual tracking a thing of the past. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, everybody. Keep asking the right questions, and I'll see you on the next one.